Hello, it's me again. I'm just going to point you down there and I will just sort out the Mac for the chat. Just bear with me, guys. Nobody joins. I'll continue on regardless. There it is. Hang on. I'll go with you in a sec if anybody has joined. If you're mad enough to join. Oh, some people have joined. Fantastic. Right, I'll just detach the chat. Just bear with me, guys. Hang on. Electronash, nice to see you. Joseph Neal, nice to see you. Matt, hello. What about chat? Nice to see you. Adam Sommer, sorry, not Sommer. And Mike Simcox, yeah, familiar faces. Hi guys. Nice to see you. Justin Robinson, hello. So I'll just pick up with a short follow-up to the previous streams. Actually, something. Some things I feel are important to mention. The first one is the Futures 8-bit cart here. You saw the previous, I think it was the previous stream I did, we got this working. It was just a bad connection there. So there were a few things with that. I noticed, I think I must have peed off Dave because he unfollowed me on Twitter and anyway, it's a long story, but I think I perhaps upset him. There's a few things to mention. I've got to thank Dave Curran, actually, for helping get me this car. Dave is the person that I think manufactures those. I think, could be wrong. And the Futures 8-bit obviously probably manufactures them as well, but those two guys work together there, Time Mouth Software and Futures 8-bit, to produce, let me just disconnect it, yeah, to produce these lovely cars. So, as I say, first thing I've got to do is apologise to Dave for perhaps forgetting to mention that. It was Dave that went out of his way to speak to the nice guys that over there at the Futures 8-bit and arrange to get me one of these. It was a time just after I lost my job. So, and I'll mention all that when I do the video for this, because I will be doing a proper review of it. So that's the first thing. Yeah, thank you very much to Dave for helping provide it. The second thing is, you'll have seen, or you might have seen in one of the previous streams, when we first looked at this 48K Spectrum here, this cart would not work with it. The Lotharac one would, yeah? Now at that point, I would, and I didn't, and I wouldn't stick a cart in here like this and bend it like that, because that is going to cause a fault on anything. It would do the same thing on here. If I started sticking one of these, the Lotharac ones in there, and bending it to try and get it to work, that's obviously you're going to break connections there, you're going to create faults. So I think it's very important, I'm absolutely crystal clear in the fact that when we couldn't get it working with this one, that never happened. It was a case of plugging it in the normal way after we'd inspected and cleaned up the PCB here anyway as well. It didn't work, so I was just really unlucky, super unlucky. The other aspect of that worth mentioning as well is, and I've completely forgot about it, but I did mention it in the review of this car from Lotharac. I had a fault with this on arrival as well. You'll remember that last video I said, whenever I receive something, it doesn't work. Yeah. You know, the Futures 8-bit car is not on its own here. This, the same, well, not the same thing, a similar sort of dead on arrival situation happened with this, actually, from the Futures 8-bit. This is the what I sent it back to him, and he sent it back again. When I first got one of these, it died. Now, in retrospect, I have no idea what killed it. Could it have been ESD? Well, it could have been, actually, because they're exposed, these on the back, aren't they? I remember exactly how it happened as well. It's like I came back from holiday. In fact, our flight was delayed or cancelled or something, so we came back home from the airport around that time, and this had arrived. So I connected this up to my plus 2, made sure it was, you know, straightly put in there, and again, it's got a little divider there, so you can't go wrong. Powered it on, and I had like flashing blocks and things on the screen, you know, it wasn't working. Disconnected it, Spectrum's all right, plug it back in, same thing. So this originally went back to Lotharac, actually, and he looked at it and said, oh, the CPLD died or something, and he put a new one on, reprogrammed it, sent it back, and it was all right. So yeah, there you go. That's another example of how I just seem to yeah, fall unlucky with certain things. But, you know, just to re-echo, the quality of these is exceptional. It really is. They're really good cars. So yeah, no worries with that. So following on that same subject, the other thing that I did off stream, because I'm always doing stuff, it's just a question of whether it's worthy of sharing. But I completely cleaned this up. You can remember this had like a load of goo or something. Now it's still worn. You can see the paint is worn there, but there was a load of sticky stuff there. I took this cover off completely. It was a bit of a trauma because what you end up doing, you can probably see if you look at the light here, it gets a little bit warped. So I used a rolling pin to kind of straighten it out and then stuck it back down after I'd cleaned up all the rubber keys here. And where there was paint chipped off, you remember there was a silver scratch there, the paint had gone. I just touched it up with a bit of black acrylic and there were the odd little black bit missing, you know, so I just touched those up. So it's kind of like good as new, really. Obviously it's a bit faded. If you look at these bits here in the light, and they all go like this. This is not me that's touched it up. Can you see it's like ripply here, the black paint? That's nothing I've done. They kind of go like that with age. But anyway, so that's that. I'm just going to move these spectrums out of the way so they don't get trodden on. Just bear with me, guys. Hang on. I've just seen a donation. Thank you very much for that donation. Yeah, so don't give Dave a hard time or Futures 8-bit. They're very good carts. And something else I saw, actually, Dave posted just shortly ago, actually. He was saying that the M1 line, which fails, and that's something else I need to correct as well. The M1 line on the Z80 sometimes fails on them. It's quite rare. It's not that common. So if you're thinking of getting a Spectrum, getting a Div MMC or a Div IDE cart for it, don't be put off thinking that, that you may be unlucky and get one with a dead M1 line. It's perhaps more common to get one that's working than it is to find one that's got a faulty M1 line. If I just look back at the Spectrums I've had on my channel over the last, I don't know, 6 or 7 years, I've probably had, let me think, 5, 6, 7 or 8, but 8 I think in total. Yeah, including the 2 we just looked at. And out of the 8, 2 of them had faulty M1 on the Z80. But those were all faulty. They were all faulty Spectrums that someone's, they've gone through a bunch of pile of Spectrums and found 1 or 2 on each occasion that were faulty, put them on the side and sold them to me. So it is quite rare. So that shouldn't put you off considering buying a Spectrum if you're thinking of getting one, and a Div MMC Future or something similar. Thank you very much for that donation there, Retro Revolutions. Just scrolling back to see if I've missed anything. If there's anything important, send it with an @GadgetUK164, and then it will just catch my eye there, because sometimes it's quite hard for me to keep, well, it's always hard for me to keep up with the chat. So the first thing I want to do, well, I need to do here, is this thing. Let me see if it'll switch on now. I've covered this on my channel previously. Switch it on. If you watch the LED here, let's just see if it stays on. Look, it's not come on. See it flicker there? Yeah, it drives me nuts, this thing. It's done this a little bit since I did that video. Ultimately, the switch just needs a clean out, actually, and just inspection of the battery contacts. The batteries in it are okay, as far as I can gather. So I'll just use a tri-wing, just quickly whiz into this and clean up the contacts on that, and hopefully it should start working again, I think. You need a tri-wing screwdriver, because obviously it's got Nintendo, security tri-wing screws. Might not be on too long, I always say that, famous last words. It might not be on too long today. I've got a few things that I could show you, but I've had a cracking headache the whole day, and if I'm honest, I'm not really feeling that well. But it's been a number of days, and I thought I'm kind of letting people down in the sense of just, giving people something additional to watch. I've been getting bored. I don't know about you guys. I've been getting really bored the last 3 or 4 days. I've had a bit of a break, but I mean, I say a break. I've been doing something every day in here, but I mean, I think it would have sent you to sleep, me disassembling that Spectrum keyboard thing there and cleaning it all up. It wasn't particularly exciting. We've got a Phillips screw down here, I think. I just need to find a screwdriver small enough. Where's my set gone? Just reading comments, Retro Revolutions, nice, looks awesome. Yeah, I think he's talking about that 48K. It came out pretty well. It's not perfect. Right, let's see if I can get this apart. I might just undo the odd one of these that's holding on a little bit. I'm not sure which one's holding on here. Something's holding on. Is it that one? No, there we go. So I've got the back off. Let's have a quick look. It's ages since I've been inside this, so yeah, it was a corrosion job, so you can still see got a little bit of greenness and stuff around there. That's not as clean as it could be, so we'll clean up the battery contacts again. Let's just inspect that one there. Can't really see for light. Yeah, they could do with a bit of a wipe, but ultimately it's this switch. I could do with the source and replacement for that, really. You can get some deoxit in there, and let's just see what difference that makes, I think. And I'll clean up the battery contacts as I say. I love live streams, even uneventful ones. Yeah, well, this is probably going to be not very eventful. The other thing I was going to do is just captain tape up on here and just quickly remove the caps off that. I might not actually stick the caps on this stream. I might do that off camera or do it on another stream. I don't know. So let's get a little bit of deoxit in there. I'm just trying to think the best way about going this. We'll perhaps try and get it actually in that way. Yeah, it's like a slidey thing, this. Look, it just slides. I'm not sure if there's like a carbon wiper thing inside or whether it's got metal contacts. It's flimsy as hell, whatever it is. Normally, just switching it off and on like that a good 10 or 20 times will actually get it working. It's done this a few times, and then I get it working, and it seems reliable, and I think, ah, it's done now, it's all right. And then I don't use it for a month or two, and I come back to it, and it's doing it again. It's driving me nuts. So, I mean, ideally, you'd want to swap that, but I'm not sure how easy they are to find. I suspect on eBay, there'll be somebody selling them, because you get, you know, someone said their common fault with those switches. Can take apart and clean. Yeah, I guess you probably could. Obviously, it's surface mounted, so I'd have to desolder it first. And it's the fact some of it's plastic, you know, that's kind of puts me off trying to desolder it to try and clean it. If I was going to desolder it, I'd rather desolder it and replace it, I think. So you never know, that might be a future video or something. Let's just use the fiberglass pen if I can on the battery contacts there, and then we'll retry it, see if it's any better. Quite hard to try and allow you to see what I'm actually doing here. Try and support it like that. Yeah, those were quite dull, come up quite silvery now. I think, to be fair, the battery contacts aren't the issue. Because the other thing you can do if you want to rule the batteries out with things like this is obviously, you know, put them in a few times, but you can rotate the batteries as well and then try the switch as you're doing it, see if that's making a difference, because just by virtue of rotating them, hang on a minute, that spring's just come out of place. Yeah, that can sometimes shed a light on whether it's the batteries or not. Anyway, let's just get the front back on while the back. And I'll tighten it up now. I think we'll just tighten some of these screws up. Just do it off camera. Someone said, Gadget UK, no need to fetch it off the board, just take the top off. Okay. It's talking about that switch there, I think. Someone said Magic Pencil. Yeah, Retro Revolutions. Do you mean to clean contacts up, Magic Pencil? The same as a fiberglass eraser, fiberglass pen, is it? What's the computer on the mat? Oh, that's the CD32. As I say, we're going to just remove those caps from there in a minute. It won't take very long to get them off, I don't think. I'll just get a few pieces of captain tape and then just go to it. I'll get them all off. I've taken some photos of the board. That's the you know, other thing you might want to do if you're going to do a recap. Take some photos before you start. Right, let's try some batteries in it and see what happens now. I'll get the carton again as well. I really should have tested it before I put the back on. Let's come straight on, look. Oh, hang on a minute, I forgot the switch. There we go. The joys of live stream. Yeah, the switch is here. There you go. I'll try and switch it on, shall I? I've also got a couple of other Amiga bits and pieces here that maybe we could look at. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's like I said, the big thing is I've got a headache at the moment, so I'm not sure how long I want to go on for today. Anyway, but any of you guys in the UK done click and collect shopping? Because I've got a question. Do you take a trolley into the place where you get the click and collect, or do they have a trolley with your bags ready for you? Because I've got to go and do click and collect tomorrow. I've got no choice. Yeah, click and collect, if you're not aware, you know, you just do your shopping online, but then they have it ready for you rather than home deliver it. But because of the oversubscription on home deliveries with internet, you know, home grocery shopping at the moment, yeah, I've got to do click and collect. Got no choice. Hang on a minute. Oh. Try again. This is precisely why I should have just took the screws out. I'm getting lazy. That's what it is. I thought, I'll just leave the screws in there and then I don't lose them all. I'll just tip them all out now. Because then we can fit the back on, test it while it's, you know, as it is kind of thing without having to commit to screwing together. That's the best thing to do. Get that back in there. That's it. Shoulder buttons in. Power switches are in. Helps if it's right wheel. Yeah, right, let's get the batteries in again. And let's try it again. Yeah, so come on. Got a screen protector on that, by the way. There's a few bits of dust or something there. What are those white marks? They weren't there a minute ago. It's weird. They seem under the screen protector. Anyway, let's try it off and on. Yeah, it's working, look now. Yeah, so that deoxit has done the job. I'll just screw it back together. Yeah, so I knew that was going to be a quick and easy one. No doubt I'll be doing it again in a month. To be fair, I haven't had to do that since I did that video, so got another piece missing here. These look, oh, these are a joy to put back together. I've forgotten about those side bits. Take that off there. One goes there. One goes there. That's it. You can get IPS screens for these now as well, can't you? Backlit ones and stuff, I think. So I might get one of those. Just think you can also get the IPS screens for the Game Boy Color as well, can't you? Oh yeah, there you go. Paul Turner. I put the IPS screen in mine. It's incredible. Yeah, I might do that. Because that's the one problem with these Game Boy Advances, isn't it? That you can't really see the screen without any kind of lighting. It's really, really hard to use. One for the DMG too, lovely. Oh, I didn't know that. Just getting the screws in. I should really do this on the mat so you can see what I'm doing, but it's not very exciting, is it? Just got a few screws left. Got hairs all on my hands here. I'll talk about that as well in a minute. Hairs. I've been cleaning up those A4000 motherboards, and there were quite a few hairs on them. With having cats here, they just get absolutely everywhere. You can see one float down there then. Yeah, so I spent some time cleaning up those two Amiga 4000 boards yesterday. There's still more to do, but testing them fairly extensively as well. I solved that mouse problem on one of them. All it needed me to do was just reflow the solder really and clean up the wires on the underside. I haven't had to swap the chip at all. It's been rock solid since I did that. So, I mean, the reason I did that is because the chips haven't arrived. With the post as it is at the moment, it was seemingly taking forever for those to arrive. So I thought, well, I'll have a go at just trying to clean it up with a bit of flux and a bit of solder, and that seems to have done the job. And that's the board I'll end up keeping, I think, the A board, the A-hole board. But both boards on those A4000 boards, they've been rock solid absolutely rock solid, no hard disk problems, now no controller problems. Certainly the one board that'll be going back to Stephen, that one's the better of the two anyway. So the other thing I'll do is I'm just going to clean that up with a bit of IPA. It'll take a second. It's one of those, can you see that super card? It's uses mini SD, so you've got to put you've got to use mini SD cards, which is a really weird format that didn't seem to take off. I think phones used it, didn't they, when it first came out? Oh no, split nail. Look at that. Yeah, massive crack in my nail there. I'll have to cut that in a minute before it goes right back up. Let's just get the wire cutters. Let's just get the wire cutters onto that. Yeah, I do need to cut my nails. Yeah, there we go. Wire cutters useful for anything. ZX Renew, afternoon all. Hello. Right, good to see you. I'm not sure I'll be taking you up on that offer, ZX Renew, just now because money being tight. But at some point, I will take a look at your website and buy some bits, because I was going to get a Harlequin or something anyway, so I think that's the road I'm going to go. I'll build a Harlequin at some point. It'll be months away though, I'm not going to, because Stephen Leary's going to do a live build of one of those, isn't he? So that'll be interesting to watch, but I'll do one later in the year or something. And at that point I'll get a custom ZX Spectrum shell from ZX Renew there, and the keyboard stuff and everything, you know, to go with it. So let's just give that another go. Yeah, that's working now. Got a few hairs on it, but it's okay. Yeah, these things are really cheap, these carts here. You know, stick your games on an SD card from AliExpress. You can see it's got a battery. I don't know, you can see that. Can you see the little yellow bit there, the inside? It's got a little battery in there for holding the save state, or a clock. Has it got a real-time clock? I think it has. But anyway, just for messing around with the thing, that's fine. I've got an EverDrive for these as well. Is it the X7 or whatever it's called? So I've got that, but I used that on the Game Boy Advance SP. Anyway, we're done with that now. That was not very exciting, was it? But at least I can now use that without its, you know, the power going straight back off. The other reason for me to do that as well is I actually had a comment yesterday, a question on one of my videos saying I've got a Game Boy Advance and I switch the power on and the light just flickers off and on. What do I need to do? Well, the first thing was, you clearly didn't watch the entire video, because the video you posted on was that exact subject of how to fix that, and it involves cleaning up the switch and cleaning the battery contacts. So yeah, anyway, there we go. So just reading the comments, they have mini SD card in old Canon cameras. Oh, okay. I'm not sure. I've never seen them used anywhere else. The first time I ever saw a mini SD was when I got that little cart there for the Game Boy Advance. Any women watching that are shaking their heads at that? I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, you'll have the missus getting to you with a nail soon. yeah, using wire cutters there. Right, I think the next thing we'll do, we'll just quickly remove those caps from there, and then I'll perhaps try and find something else to do. What I don't want to do is recap the whole thing on this stream, because the putting the caps back on might take a little bit longer, and it's fiddly to film, and it's all the rest of it. What I might do is share some of it tomorrow. I might like recap, I don't know, start in the morning, recap 70% of it. Just wait until I've got 3 or 4 or 5 caps left, and then start a live stream and cover something else after I've finished the recap, if that makes sense. Before we do that, we'll just go and test this actually. I'm just going to ground myself a sec. We'll put the wrist strap on when I go over there, the SD wrist strap. We'll just grab the board and keep the wheel over here. So I've got the mats set up. Let me just switch the power on the TV. I'd like to test it because whilst this has been sent to me, requiring just a recap, well, I'd like to know, does it work? Because if it doesn't work when we finish the recap, I won't be any the wiser, will I? I'll be like, well, did I damage it? Let's just get the wrist strap on. Hang on. So I've got a connection here from my ATX power supply. Let's just plug that in. Okay, that's it. And we'll pull around the composite. Hang on. Helps us to get in the composite. and I'll point you at the screen, and we'll just try and power it on and see what it's like. Looking at the state of the caps on there, and I'll give you a close-up in a minute so you can see for yourself, I would suggest that this is just a precautionary recap, actually. I want to test it, because, where's the power switch now? Right, switch it on, see what happens. Yeah, the caps look excellent on it. I think it is just a precautionary recap. Yeah, that's booting look, and it looks really, well, I say it's booted, it's not got a drive connected, but the display there's looking pretty good for composite. I'll try and get you a little bit closer. Look how crystal clear that is for composite. That's amazing. So if I let you have a quick look at the caps here, try and get you up close, you can see it looks like none of them have leaked. This is just a precautionary recap, I think. So look around that side of that one there. Yeah, looking alright. They are looking fine. I did have a quick measure of those two. Those are the ones that usually round the wrong way. They're not on this one. The other thing Tom said, oh, it's Rev 3 this, so the audio caps are probably the wrong way around. I don't know whether he meant those two through-hole types there, because those are the ones that are usually the wrong way around. Is anyone aware of the audio caps being the wrong way around on these? I'm not. I didn't think that was a thing with the CD32. But yeah, they're looking fine, aren't they? Yeah, someone said a beautiful machine, a work of art. It is. What I like about it is look how compact it is. It's such a small board. The other thing that struck me looking at this this morning when I had a quick look is look at the ROM there as well. It's a single ROM. So that must be a 16-bit ROM, I think. Because there's not going to be enough pins to have 32 data bits on there and your address bits as well. You've got four RAM chips here, look. So each one of those 512K 8-bit, I think, to give you 2 meg of 32-bit. A Keyco, CPU. Yeah, the CPU's weird on these, isn't it? I was expecting it to be kind of square, quad flat pack, but it's not, it's rectangular. Lisa, I guess it's the same Lisa you got on a 1200 and a 4000. Video DAC, can't see what that is. CXA 1145M, is it? Yeah, video encoder. Baller. What's that one there? That's Alice. Yeah, Paula, Alice. Audio DAC. Anyway, there we go. You've seen enough of that. So let's just wheel back over to the mat, get a bit of Captain tape on it. Still working, by the way, on the screen. It's still waiting for a disc kind of thing there. So I'm happy that that is functioning. Obviously, we don't know about the ports and all the rest of it, but yeah, it would seem it's a working board there. So it's nice to see. So if we get to that same conclusion when we finished it, that's the main thing. So let's just wheel back over there with it. Stick it on the mat. Point you down a little bit. Just move you over here. Just get the power back up to that. Might be able to zoom a little bit. Yeah, we're going to focus obviously in that area down there. That's where most of the caps are. The CPU is standing over there in the corner, looking a bit on the small side. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It's a bit underwhelming when you see the CPU on them. I was thinking actually these boards would have been much better had they had an 030. Maybe could have sold a lot better. Because the processor that was on them just really kind of wasn't up to the job, was it? They're trying to compete with like the Saturn and the PlayStation, I guess, around that time. I think so. So I'm sticking a few bits of Captain tape over that. I don't want to melt that connector. So around here, well, there's a few ICs. I'm not too worried. We're not too close to them. Diodes and things. As long as you're careful, none of this other stuff should come off. Get a little bit of Captain tape on that. Just because it's got a bit of a plasticky sort of thing on the top of it, that modulator. You know, the pins that come down, they go through a bit of plastic, so we'll just cover that over. What else have we got there? I think this corner here of this, you know, just so that if I'm overzealous with the heat, I don't melt that. And at the back there, is that on camera? Yeah, it is. Yeah, at the back there we've got the video connector there, the composite video, and that cap. I'm going to do the through-hole caps last, but I think that's all the things I'm worried about there. I'll just stick a bit there as well, just in case when I come to do this cap here, I'm just a bit, again, over, you know, wavy with the soldering hot air. So let's just move that over there a bit. My +4 power supply has a whiff of TCP about it when in use. Time to retire. Yeah, some of those, you know, the original power supplies for some of the old Commodores, they're not the best, are they? And they're not easy to get into to replace the capacitors on some of them. You know, just have a big transformer and a massive mat of epoxy. Let's just get something under there just so that I don't melt the mat. Now, I could add some flux. The problem is it just burns up and just goes really fumey. The other thing is I've got some no clean flux, so I can stick some of that on there, and that's supposed to be for hot air rework stuff. And you know what, as soon as you stick it on there and heat it, within about 2 seconds it all dissolves, you know, all evaporates and it's gone. It's almost like it's like 90% IPA or something. SMD caps of that era are a bit iffy in general. Yeah, so this is the thing, this is just a precautionary cap, despite the fact that these look amazing caps, you know, look really clean and tidy. It's yeah, precaution, just replace them. 20-year-old caps might not have much life left in them. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, let's start with these edge ones down here. I think it's going to be difficult for me to do this without blocking it. I'll tell you what, let's heat the cap up first, and then I can come in with the tweezers. I've got some tweezers here, but they're like plastic. They're supposed to be designed for SMD rework, but you know what? I wouldn't want to risk it with them. They'll probably just melt. Super difficult to do this without blocking the camera. As I say, I've took some photos of this, so I know exactly where, well, I should know exactly where each cap goes, including its orientation in regards to polarity. This might take longer than I'm thinking. There's me thinking this would be a 2-minute job. Surprisingly, despite it being nice and sunny outside today, it's quite cold in here today. It's not what I expected at all. Well, that one's almost there, must be there now. Oh, come on. Yeah, if it continues like this, I don't think I'll do the whole removal of this on stream. Because I'll be at it for hours, wouldn't I? Yeah, that side's alright. Let's try that side now. There we go, it's coming off, look. You can more or less just knock them off. You don't even need pliers once they get up to the right temperature. Let's just try that, it might be a bit easier. There you go, see? 2 down. I don't smell any electrolyte yet. Just by virtue though of heating these and removing them, sometimes you can, you know, cause the release of the electrolyte, and then you can smell electrolyte. I've also seen as well, I think I captured it in a video that you've not seen yet, sometimes if you're heating these like this and the cap can get too hot, if you're looking directly over it, be very careful, because the can can actually fire off. I had that happen to me recently, trying to remove one of these like this. The top of the can launched into the air like a rocket and missed me face by millimeters, like skimmed me. But it's pretty rare for that sort of thing to happen. It's the sort of thing that usually happens when you get the positive and negative around the wrong way and then apply power. That side's molten. That side isn't, is it? Yeah, that's the ground, that's why. Let's give the ground side a bit longer. I think it's done now, that one. Maybe not. It's riveting stuff, this, isn't it? I need some of those tweezers. That's what I need for things like this. I've had a few people in videos in the past when doing things like this saying you need to either get tweezers or use 2 irons. I've had a few people saying that, you know, for them when they do professional recap work, to get through things quite quick, they just use 2 irons. I'd find it quite hard trying to use 2 irons at the same time, I think. It's alright if you've got somebody else there to try and help you free the thing up after you've got it at its temperature. That's really holding on for its life, that one. There we go, it's off. Let's just move that out of the way. The board. I mean, I guess this is where, you know, a bit of flux would help as well. You could add flux. I just don't want to use the flux I've got here. That chip quick flux will just make a massive amount of fumes. That's the problem. ZX Kim was making me a, I mentioned it on a few streams now, making me a fume extractor. I'm not sure if he's managed to get that off to me or not yet. He showed me some pictures on Twitter. He shared some pictures with various people, and it just looks amazing. It's done such a good job. It's like 3D printed housing. I think he was waiting for the electronical parts, you know, the fan and stuff for it, which I didn't think he was going to, you know, have to stick in there himself. I thought I'd have to source that. And of course, preheating can help with things like this as well, or preheat the underside as well. I've had people saying that in a few videos now. Well and truly sticking in there. I could change the nozzle and have a nozzle that goes right the whole, you know, width of the can there. That would speed up the process some more. I think it's this side here that's it's not giving way. It's the ground. The same on the other one. That one we struggled with a minute ago. It's just the ground point. Solder ain't melting. Got it set quite high as well. There you go. Let me just catch up with the chat a minute. Yeah, as I say, might not do all of this way because there's a lot of cats there. We'll be at it forever, won't we? Chip quick fume is good for headaches. Too many irons in the fire. That, you know, people just want to hang out and chat, don't really care if something's interesting or not. Yeah, it's a good point. I'll continue on for the moment. If we're still at it in another 10 or 15 minutes though, I might, I don't know, I might move on to something else. Or we could start fitting the ones of the caps I've removed or something like that. The dilemma for me is, like I say, a lot of the stuff I've got to do at the moment is this sort of thing. It's just like spending ages removing things from boards. The Archimedes might be the next thing. Some of those A3000s. Got a pile of components here. All the stuff required to pretty much rebuild the left-hand side of those boards there around the battery area. But that's going to be a similar thing. Not exciting for watch, is it, really? I could be at them for hours. Hours and hours and hours just doing nothing but taking things off. But that's the approach I'm going to go with on those Archimedes, actually. Rather than, you know, fix things one at a time, I'm just literally going to gut it. I'm going to take off all of the things that look bad, like sockets, chips, resistors, caps, etc. Then clean everything up, clean the pads up on the board and stuff, and I've got some brand new components, brand new resistors, brand new caps. Oh, see what I mean? That scared the shit out of me, that. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear there, but did you see what I said a minute ago about caps, how they heat them up and they can suddenly explode? There you go. So don't look down. Don't look down. Preheating in the bottom of the board, PCB helps a lot. Yes, it does, but I've done enough of these to realise that I can get them off without too much issue, but that did scare the crap out of me, if I'm honest. I'm glad I wasn't looking straight down on that. Shall I go and get my safety goggles? I think I need them. Let's try that side. In some ways, I'm glad that happened. It spiced the stream up a bit, didn't it? Eh? And it echoes the point I was trying to make earlier. Whatever you do, don't look down straight at them. Yeah, don't make eye contact, they might go for you. I hope they're all not going to do this now. I'm going to start getting a complex about, nervous to work on it. I might end up sticking some flux on these because I think that's ultimately going to speed things up as well. That one that just popped probably could be, well, it probably is because it's just got too hot. It really is that simple. It's like that side's molten, that one not so much now. Come on. Check the comments. Yeah, put the goggles on, better safe than sorry. Revenge the capacitor. Someone said just had a quick rewind of that. Jesus, I never knew they did that. Yeah, it's rare. It is rare. I'm amazed that actually happened on stream there. To be fair, there's bits of it look, it's innards. It is rare for that to happen. That's the second time I've had that happen in the last 10 years, I think. The last time was on a previous stream. I was like, wow, that's rare. And then we've seen it happen here. That could also be a clue that maybe the caps weren't as healthy here as they look. You never know. I think not. I think it's probably because I ain't got a lot of, I ain't got any added flux. I haven't added dedicated flux. Guys, my children are horrified at your language. Oh, I'm sorry about that. It's yeah, it did make me jump. It made me jump. Let's switch that iron off. Don't do that on. Well, we'll do one or two more. Let's try and get these ones done in this corner down here. Who knew it was going to be that eventful? Yeah. Made my headache worse, that's for sure. Don't need that, do I? Don't know why I've decided to go back to using the players again. I really don't need them. It's the negative sides here are going to take longer. Surprisingly as well, after that exploded a lot, it doesn't smell fishy. It makes me think that I'd almost dried out actually. I'd planned, still planned to do mine actually, a recap of mine, and a my 1200. That might be, I don't know, I might do that tomorrow. because there are a few things I want to do to my 1200. It's not, I don't think the RGB is correct on my 1200. Something I've never noticed before, because I've always had it connected to a little, a scaler that's connected to a VGA monitor there in the other room. But when I connected up to the TV recently via a SCART cable, I was horrified. It looks like there's a pink tinge or something to the display when using a SCART cable. So there's something not quite right with the RGB output on my 1200. So yeah, it'll be a recap on my 1200 and a repair in the same video. I've also got a new shell and some new keys, so I could in theory rehome it and give it some nice new black and white keys as well. It's free on one side, that the other side is just not letting up. There we go. Come on, off you go. This one should come off a bit easier because I've been eating that one as well. Yeah, that side's loose. Ground isn't. Or the negative side rather. That's a coupling cap, that, isn't it? 22 microfarad. It's probably going to be the audio coupling. Mind you, there's a few up there. They might be audio. There we go. Yeah, when you get it up to temperature, they come off pretty easy. Let's see what that is. Goggles. Yeah, just checking we're still live. Can't believe we've been on 47 minutes already. This is exactly why I was saying maybe I should stop doing this now and do something else. Captain tape's just masking that pin down there. It's going to be quite hard to solder if the captain tape's on it. There we go. That melted really quick there, just watching that. The positive side of that cap was instant. It is just the negative side that was holding on. There you go, it's coming off, look. I guess depending on where they are in the circuit, it's going to dictate how easy some of them are to come off. Coupling caps and stuff will be much easier to get off than any that are smooth in rails. If you watch the solder point, you can actually see when it goes molten. It goes all very, it goes very shiny. You can even see it change shape sometimes. I'm not really trying to lever these, by the way. I'm just literally touching it to see if it's ready. That side's well holding on again. Getting there. Some people just heat the cap can like that, but that's where you're more likely to make it explode, in my experience. Yeah, just looking at that, no pad damage or anything like that. It's looking pretty good so far. I'll show you. I mean, to be fair, it's not, well, it doesn't feel like it's taken too long to get all those off so far. Got a big pile of them over there. Let's just check your comments and things. Turns into a bomb disposal stream. Watching someone work like this is quite therapeutic. Only if there's something else has a possibility of exploding. Board preheater would be nice for a job like this. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, for something's sake, even a bot appears in chat. Which bot? Oh, is it that bot? I like you. You make great content. Oh yeah, Tom the bot. Anyone else seen Tom in the comments? He's a bot, apparently. With a few people pointing that out. Still have to replace touchscreen connector on job lot of NDS I bought. I don't like working on NDSs, Nintendo DSs. They're so blooming fiddly. Well, let's just keep going like this for now. Hopefully, because some of these are clustered together here, we'll be able to fly through some of these a little bit quicker. And the smaller caps come off easier. Let me see if I can move around a bit here, because I'm totally at an angle. That's a bit better. I think you can see that. So you do have to bear in mind that when you're heating like this, you've got lots of transistors and resistors and caps, all these little SMD components here. They will be loose, they will come loose. So if you're a bit over zealous with whatever you're using to remove them, or you knock them off at an angle, you could stick them onto something else or move something else, bridge something somewhere. You need to be careful. I wonder what size that was, one that blew before. Was it a small one or a big one? Yeah, that's off, I think. Yeah, there we go. Couple of big ones again. 47s here. Sorry, not watching what I'm doing there. Trying to look to see if the camera's still filming. Come on. I don't like how long this one's been eaten. Is it going to be an exploder? Do you think we can get any more exploders? Obviously, the longer you heat, the hotter it gets, and that's where you start to get to the point where it may explode. That side's loose, this side isn't. I think it's on one of the supply rails there. I mean, it's the sort of thing you could just, if an iron was heated up now, I could literally just touch that side and I reckon it'd come off. come off there. I don't want it that way up. There we go, let's just get that out of the way. Yeah, we're getting there. It's starting to look very bare, isn't it? So what have you guys been doing today? Anything exciting? Trying to read the comments while I'm doing this is not easy. Let's just do these ones here. I'll try and get another video up for Patreon tomorrow. There's one up there now on early access. It's not massively exciting. It's about 45 minutes long on the Sega Mega Drive Model 2, Mega CD Model 2. But I'll try and get some more videos up as well in between live streams. I've got a few more to go actually, so I reckon I can do that tomorrow. Although I've got to go and get that shopping tomorrow. I've got to go and do my click and collect at Asda. It's like watching paint dry, this, isn't it? I thought that one would have been a bit easier because it had already been heated up on this side when it was next to that cap there, but seemingly not. There we go. Slow, gradual progress. How the fuck are you making people's office computer printer makes me a key worker? Paints dry, solder melts, tomato. I like that, Tom, that automated message from Tom there, do you see it? You go, girl, great vid. Yeah, thanks, Tom. You know, you automated a drone, you. Thanks for calling me a girl. Buy more Chinese goods off eBay, the quality is great. No, the free shipping is incredible. Right, I'm going to have to get rid of Tom because he's annoying me. I can't, the message is moving that quick, I can't even block Tom. Where's he gone now? Oh. Did anyone watch that new Red Dwarf feature-length thing the other day? I didn't even know it was on. I'd be curious to know if anyone knows where I can watch that. Is there a Dave on demand or something like that I can watch on, perhaps? BBC iPlayer or something? I don't know, it's not on BBC though, it's on Dave, isn't it? Was it any good? Can't believe I missed it. I'm gutted. Not very many left actually, is there? Not very many left at all. Do that big one there, it's a 100. Someone said best Red Dwarf for years, ZX Renew. Oh great, you're making me even more upset that I missed it now. Trust me to miss the best Red Dwarf in years. I think the last series wasn't that great, was it? I forgot what series it is now. It's like series 12 or something, wasn't it? Or something like that. I've lost count. It's a shame they're not all on Netflix, are they? I mean, I've got them on disc somewhere, most of them. I'm trying not to block it. What I should have done in retrospect is got a bit of capital tape on that tantalum above there, that yellow capacitor. It'll be alright. I've been watching Breaking Bad again for the last few days actually. I'm about episode 6 or something now. Shows you how bored I've been. Oh, come on. These big ones, I don't like doing them. It takes so long. That side's alright, I think. It's the main power rail, that, I think. 5 volts or something. I reckon this one's going to go bang in a minute. If it doesn't come off soon. This is the worst one. None of the others have took this long. Oh, I am actually in physical pain here. The angle I'm having to lean at to do this, to film at the same time as trying to remove it. There you go, that side's melted. Come on. Oh, please just come off. I'd die of old age by the time I got this one off. Board's not that hot. It's just this, you know, obviously the local area that starts to get hot. There we go. Finally. I need a break after doing that one. So just catch up with the comments. Terrible fire, you missed the exploding cap. Yeah, it was the highlight of the video. We've had the monotony of removing caps for the last 20 minutes, but it was interspersed with the firework display. What temperature do you use on the at the moment? I've got it to 410. You could argue if we go higher it'll come off quicker. Anyway, we've done no damage to this. It's looking nice, it's looking fine. I'll give you another preview there from above. That's the one, yeah. We obviously toasted around there a little bit, but there's no signs of damage. Lots of cleaning required because this board is a bit dirty, actually. Not many caps left here now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll do the through holes afterwards. God, I may as well. I've started, so I may as well finish now. It's not very exciting watching, but I haven't really got exciting things to do just now. I might have a look at that external floppy drive or something. I don't know if I could do that. I've got an external drive here that's been sent to me. Could see what that's doing. I've got some memory expansions I guess I could look at. Oh, this is another one of those 100s. Actually, is this going to be as painful as that other one was? I don't know. And I could change the airflow. That would might maybe help things a bit. Let's just increase the airflow a bit. Let's try that. Yeah, if you've got faster airflow, obviously your temperature goes up a bit quicker as a result of that. Yeah, that side's molten, I can see it. This is what always happens. I find it one side melts really easy and the other side doesn't. And this one, it's the positive that's not melting. There we go. Maybe that increased airflow has helped there. Still felt like that was taking an eternity to get off. I think actually I'm just going to stop myself in the tracks there at that point and put some captain tape around those inductors. Just because, well, I don't want to damage them. Hang on. See if I can just somehow tuck that down there like that, and then tuck that there like that. Yeah, inside them, obviously, they're probably like a little plastic piece with a core in the middle of it and coil wrapped around it. So, you know, the less heat you expose those to, the better, really. You could argue the same thing with the crystal. You really don't want to heat the crystal up too much either, but anyway, that'll be alright. Problem is now I've got some captain tape on the bloody... Look at that cap there. Oh, I'll have to remove that now. Try and rotate it this way a little bit. That's it. I couldn't quite see the cap leg there. It was covered by the captain tape. Sorry, I realise you can't see what I'm doing. Oh, yeah, I knew that one was going to go. I could see it moving. Oh, it stinks as well. That's a stinker, that one. What a smell. No damage. Well, no damage apart from the cap. Cap exploded. So I've had two now. Two. That first one that blew didn't stink. That second one did. Yeah, I can see it's gone molten on that side. And on that side. See, that one's come off really easy. It never ceases to amaze me how some of them just come straight off without issues, and then others just hold on and hold on and hold on. And a minute, captain tape obscuring it a little bit. That one came straight off, look. No worries at all. The extra heat is definitely making the extra airflow, definitely making a big difference here. I'm sure you can still see what I'm doing here. On to the last ones here, look. Yeah, like that side, I can see it loosen up straight away there. Hang on a minute, captain taping away. There's something melting there, I'm not sure what. Up the top of the can. Yeah, there we go, one's off. Might be an idea to captain tape the top of that there as well, actually, in retrospect. The video encoder. Can't get to that one at all. Yeah, that side's molten. That was really annoying because the solder point is like right sort of under there like that. There we go. Right, let me just take stock of where I'm at and remove all these dead caps. So I've just got a couple more to remove there now. 2 left, I think. Let's just get that cap to tape there. How did I manage to cap to tape over one of the... There you go. One of the ones I want to remove somehow. There we are. Yeah, you can't see it, can you? Doesn't matter how I arrange it. You can see it from there just about. So let's try and get these off. There you go, it's off on that side. Crazy thing is now it's off on that side, but it's not off on that side. This is what happens. There we go, it's coming off now. That's it. Final one now. Let's just make sure that capture tape's down there. Something was burning there then, I saw it. Oh, maybe this one's leaked. I don't know. Let me just try and pull this round like that. Could argue a bit of capture tape over here might have been an idea as well. There you go. You can sort of see it change actually. The solder point clearly changes when it's at temperature. Right next to a... oh, there it's come off. I was going to say right next to that through hole, but we're going to be swapping that through hole out later anyway. It isn't the end of the world. There we go. How long was that? About 45 minutes or something. Oh. So just looking at the chat again, see if I've missed anything. Hang on a minute, right, let me just block Tom because he's really annoying me, actually. Hide user on this channel. Highlander, hi Chris, how's it going? Hi, nice to see you. Watched your video earlier, that was really good actually on the Mega Drive stuff there. Just use the first option, spam, you know, just use the first option, spam promoting. Yeah, that Tom Chinese gear is like a box of chocolates, you never know what. Yeah. You can add a bit of C4 to those caps and repair the damage afterwards, make a nice video. Ian Scott Johnson, hi Ian. Ian's sending me some stuff for the Spectrum, actually some Spectrum parts and stuff, so I'll show you that when that arrives, but it could be a few days or a week or so yet. It depends on the, you know, whether everybody's able to do the job or not. UPS, I wouldn't imagine are doing deliveries as normal. There might be delays and things, periodically. Anyway, that's all of those caps removed from there now. There's still 3 through-hole ones, but we can get rid of those later. Let's just realise there's a cap from there. Look, let's just get that off. So there's a pile of crusty capacitors. But to be fair, other than the 2 that exploded on the stream there, I couldn't really smell any electrolyte leaking from any of the others. So we zoomed an awfully close in there, aren't we? I'm just going to let that cool down now. I'm not going to do anything else with that now today, I don't think, on the stream. You know, the board as a whole warms up, you know, you can feel that in the ambient area. Everything's just slightly lukewarm. It's warmer over here than anywhere, because that was the last area we were soldering. I'll just carefully pull this tape off. And then later, I'll just go over all these pads here with some desolder braid, clean them all up, give it a bit of a brush. Because it is very dirty, you can see there's quite a lot of dirt around here, look. And then I'll start one by one getting the caps back on. That was the melting I could smell. I knew I could smell something plastic around here. It's a bit of tape or plastic or something underneath the modulator there. I didn't see that. Can you see that? Yeah, learn from my mistakes. But what I could do with that, just to clean that up, I won't do it now, but I could literally just cut. Can you see? Yeah, cut there in a straight line and just get rid of that little piece on the end. They must put a piece of plastic under the can before they sit it on there for whatever reason. Well, it looks like little sticky things, doesn't it? Can you see? We've got one sticky pad there and one sticky pad there underneath the modulator can. I just didn't see that. But it's not a big deal. I can just, let's say, cut that little edge off and you'd never notice. Those are interesting. Look how they're at an angle there. Can you see that? They've all been bent to the side there. I noticed that. Oop, camera's going. Yeah, I noticed that when I first got the board out, actually. It's obviously had a knock at some point, either in transit or, I don't know, wherever. But these caps here, I'll show you this now. As much as I expected those to be the wrong way around, they seem the right way around, actually. Measure on continuity. So the modulator is obviously a ground there. If we just have a look, can you see that cap there is pointing upwards towards the switch, and this one is pointing towards the switch, the next band. And that's how it should be. I remember that from when I did the one on mine. And again, if we measure from ground here, so the negative, hang on. Yeah, the negative is correctly the one nearest the switch. The other cap is, where's the other one? Yeah, the other one's here. That's the negative side of it, and again, it's connected to the ground. So it would appear that even though this is a Rev 3 board here, appear that those two through-hole caps are correctly orientated on this one. So I'm surprised at that. But Tom did say the audio caps might be wrong on this, but I wasn't aware. Please let me know in the comments, are you aware of any CD32s where the audio caps are mounted the wrong way? I didn't think that was a thing on the CD32. I thought it was just these that were generally the issues on the CD32. Wait a minute, how's Tom posting messages? This is good, more positive, can we be friends? I've literally banned Tom from the channel, yet somehow Tom is still there. What the... Tom, Russia is a strong ally with the USA. Really? It even talks about destroying America with Chinese. Oh god. How do you get rid of it? Does anybody know how to get rid of it? It's like there is 5 Toms. There's 5 Toms? Really? Multiple channels, okay. The big problem I've got is it's so slow at updating. Every time I click the button, I've got to wait ages for the thing. If you ban enough, they will stop. Yeah, hang on, there's one there. Oh. This made this really painful because I'm trying to move the cursor around. And let me see if I can make somebody else moderator. Need a few mods, yeah. Can I make somebody else a mod? I'm going to make a bunch of people moderators here. Don't go to town and start banning each other, whatever you do. Or blocking each other. Let's try that. Anyone want to be a moderator? Apart from Tom. Tom has not been a moderator. Error 42, you can be a moderator as well. Yeah, don't abuse your powers. I nearly made Tom a moderator then. That wasn't a fatal mistake. Okay, Michael's workshop, where's he gone? Just get rid of the Tom thing, that's the thing, isn't it? That's the main thing here. Oh, we should respond. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's working. I've added a few moderators there. There's three of you now, I think. I don't know whether that's worked or not. Yeah, Michael's workshop. I've just made you a moderator. Stephen Leary is a moderator, and somebody else. I forget now. I can't remember. See if that works. See if you can get rid of Tom, because I can't get rid of Tom. I've tried everything to get rid of Tom, and Bandy's, you know what, 3 times now. Tom gone, but Uncle Tom's bot cabin. Tom's gone to Uncle Tom's bot cabin. Oh, right. I'll tell you what, this has not been a normal stream, has it? There's been nothing normal about this whatsoever. What should we do next? Should we have a look at that floppy drive? He says I didn't get mod. That's really weird. I did the same thing the other day. I tried to do the same thing, give someone else moderator access, and it didn't work. Hang on. 2 moderators get paid. Yeah, I don't know. I'll sort something out at some point. Yeah. I click add moderator and it does nothing. Just bear with me, guys. Let me just try and do it from the main PC. I'll be right back. sorry about that, guys. I had to on the main PC. The Mac, for whatever reason, maybe it's because I'm using Firefox on there and it's out of date. It's yeah, it just won't allow it. So I think I've made Stephen a moderator. He did say it made him a moderator, and Michael's Workshop. Yeah, someone pointed out that thing about Tom before, because that Tom guy was posting on all channels and all videos, just saying random stuff like, "Hey, great video, you know, let's be YouTube friends," or something along those lines. So just catching up with the chat. Sorry, it's not very exciting, is it? It's never exciting. Yes, I am now moderator. Great, that's good news. That terrible fire is now mod. Yeah. Let the terrible fire reign. Yeah. He'll be using his powers for good. Hang on. Right, let's have a look at that floppy drive, just to do something different. I'm just going to, now that the board's killed off a little bit, I'm just going to stick it back into its CSD bag. We'll revisit it later. I've got stuff all over the place here. Yeah, so I'll just carefully stick it back into its CSD bag here. And we'll clean it up and deal with it later. So I don't want to just get bogged down by doing nothing but a recap in this video. So I'll just have a rearrangement here, so move some things around. Yeah, so we've got this. And actually, we've got, what's it got now? I think we'll look at two things here. We'll look at this thing and this thing. We can test these out on those 4000 boards, I guess, because that's the only thing that I think has not been tested. The keyboard port's been tested on both serial parallel and everything else, apart from the external floppy drive. One minute, try and look how to get inside this darn thing. Tape around it. So again, this came from Tom. Tom Needs kindly donated this, so you can have it. I think he did. I'm guessing just from the look of it, it's going to be a no-name brand third-party one, you know, just like a metal can with a drive in it. Some leads coming out the back. Or a lead coming out the back, rather. Now, he said this was working, and then at some point it stopped responding. So yeah, you can see it's going to be just a standard PC drive that's been adapted, you know, one that will work with the Amiga format. Let's we'll get the lid off it as well before we go and do anything. See what state the drive's on. I can't find a screwdriver now. Where's that gone? That's weird. I don't remember using it. Hang on a minute, guys. Let me just see if I can see it. There's another Chinese person posting there. I love these floppy drives. Okay. That seems like a genuine comment. Or is that a bot that's intelligent enough to hear me say floppy drive? I don't think so. Where's my screwdriver gone? I don't see it. Oh. I see it. Yeah, it was right across the other side of the blooming room. Let's get these out. Those might not be the right screws. No, they are the right screws. Looks like it holds the lid and the drive in place at the same time, probably. It looks like a nice enclosure, that, actually. There's barely a mark on it. As good as new. Zarkos, time for some Archimedes repairs. Yeah, I was saying, I think what I might do, maybe tomorrow, is just start desoldering things from one of those E3000 boards. Won't be a particularly interesting thing to watch, but I need to do it. So you can see this one's a Sony. Funnily enough, this is the drive that people recommend using as doing a conversion there to work with an Amiga. It's the MPF 920E. So let's just disconnect it. We can try it on its own, actually, can't we? That's the nice thing with that. We don't even need to use this in theory. What's that on there? Can you see that? Let's see if we can push that down there. There's a gal. There you go. That's what's going to be wrong with it, isn't it? It's going to be that gal. Yeah, so if it doesn't work, that's what the issue is. Let's try the drive on its own to start with. Yeah, let's wheel over there. I'll connect up the one of those A4000 boards, and let's see. I'll bring the Mac as well, just so I've got a chat. I'm going to point you down here. Hang on. So just ground myself. Got my wrist strap on. So which one's this? This is the one board. This is the board I think I'm going to send back to Stephen actually. The one, because this one's been no trouble. It's behaved itself, this board. There's always a first time. I know I've said that, probably jinxed it. Just connect that up. In fact, we don't need that up because I only got the one the power connector here. I only got one of them. We need that for the floppy drive. So let's connect power. The SD strap's getting in the way here. Connect that. We'll connect sound up anyway. I'll try and boot a game on it. Just pull that out of the way. So we need cable, don't we? Floppy cable. So I'll pull the one off this drive here. So yeah, that's red line's going to the pin 1 marking. Try and find pin 1 on here now. Well, it's got the little cutout at the bottom there. So if I try, yeah, put it on the wrong way, it won't fit in, will it? So it must be that way. Well, you'd think. I should connect its power as well. Connect that up there. I need a disc now. I'll take the disc out of here. I think this is just sys test, isn't it? Let's try that first of all. So let me just re-inspect to make sure I've not got anything short in anywhere. Floppy drive's on properly. And let's try and power it on. Where's the power switch gone? I've lost it. Can't see it now. That's a good point actually. Where is the power switch? Oh, it's there. Take the wrist strap off, it's just annoying me. Yeah, it's booted up I think. Let's just switch from the floppy. I'll point you at the screen in a sec. Yeah, it's booted. Yeah, there you go. So you can see that that floppy drive is okay. So it's going to be that gal. Oh, that's going to be a short. That's short, isn't it? Short video. It's like, there you go, faulty gal. Can't do anything with it because I ain't got a spare chip, and I don't think the code is going to be available for that to reprogram it. But that drive is okay. Let's try that other drive because he provided another drive, didn't he? Let me just go and get it. Hang on. Yes, I mean if you look at the enclosure here, there's nothing to it, is there? You've got your connector, you know, just daisy chain your drives together. You've got a switch on the back there. I mean, in theory that switch might be bad, but I doubt it. And then a gal. This says this was working at some point and then stopped working. Maybe we should just give it a try, see what it does. Let's try that. What we'll do is we'll connect. I think what to do here because I need to boot an OS, don't I? Just sys test more than one floppy drive. I can't remember. Has it got the option to test A and B? Let's have a look at that in a sec. I'll just get this out of here. Because this is another drive that Tom has sent me. I think this is one where a mod has gone wrong or something, or it doesn't work. Something like that. PC drive that's, this says Amiga Kit there, what? Amiga Kit Technical Services. Yeah, FDD Amiga CD32 DF0. It's got a round LED. That's the first time I've seen a round LED on a drive like that. Warranty void if removed, Amiga kit. Anyway, let's just see what it's doing. I don't know. What's this testing again? See what this one's doing. Just listening for it, I don't hear it. No, it's not doing anything though. Don't know, shall we pull the lid off that one perhaps? I don't know, before I do anything else, let's have a think about this now. Let's have a think about how to test this thing. Because I have got two drives here. I can connect up this drive as internal. Whoops. Yeah, expect craziness on these streams. Things always go wrong for me. So I'll connect the other drive up, and we'll see if we can get that thing, that one working externally. What I want to do is boot into sys-test, see if it will test A and B. I don't know whether there's any option there. There probably is, I would think, to change to DF1. I don't want to call it A and B. It's not A and B on the Amiga, is it? You don't have an A drive. Why is that now not booting? What is going on here? Hey, that's strange. It's got a disc in. Oh, it's not got a disc in, that's why it's not booting. Try again. It's anti-static carpet, just like his cats. Yeah, my cats are anti-static. We wash them in anti-static shampoo daily. Not really. It's still not booting. What is going on here? Why is this now not working? That's pin 1. That's definitely correctly on there. I'm starting to think that disk drive has just killed the CIA, actually. That'd be about right for my luck, wouldn't it? No, it's booting now, thank goodness for that. Must have been a bad connection. Yeah, so I'll point you back up there. Get the mouse up. Obviously I need to reboot it a sec. Oh, hang on, what's gone on there now? What's that? That was weird. I don't get that. Don't know what that was. That was weird. That was really weird. Oh, there we go. So you can test multiple drivers with this. Got DF0, DF1, not present. So I'll just switch it off. That weird thing with the display happened then when I plugged the mouse in. I've never seen that before. Is that the start of a new problem with these 4000s? So I'm just trying to plug that drive back into its harness, and I'm going to connect it up externally. I'll show you in a minute or two where it is, and then we'll boot and see if that drive is detected. I'm not sure what the switch on the back is used to indicate. Perhaps the identification, you know, is it DF1 or DF2 or whatever. Right, let's try that, see what happens now. It's connected up. It's booting. Floppy disk drive. Yeah, so I've got it set to clearly there, as you can see, DF2. So I've got DF0, DF2. I'm just going to switch it off again. I'm going to just move the switch back one, see if I can get it to be DF1. Let's try that. I think that's going to be DF1. Because the switch has got 3 positions, I think. I guess it's I'm going to switch between DF1, DF2 and DF3. You can have 4 drives, 4 floppy drives connected up in, chained together in an Amiga. That's interesting. Now it doesn't show up as DF1, look. It says not present. Now there is a jumper on the motherboard, isn't there, for DF... is it external, DF0, or internal? Well, it's set to internal, so... I don't know, let me just switch it back over again. Hang on. See what that comes up as. And I've moved the switch right to the end here. May well be that the switch is the problem. Maybe it can't be found as DF1. Floppy drive. Yeah, look, it's back to DF2 again. Can't seem to get it to appear as DF1. Try in the middle position, see what that comes across. You get a chip. I saw a bit of fluff flying in front of the TV. You get a lot of dust and hairs and things flying around here. I did vacuum up in here the other day, but yeah, clearly this stuff still continues to float around. I don't get that. I can't find DF1. Can't find DF1 anyway. Let's put a disc in DF2 if I've got one. I should have a white disc somewhere here I can test with. That will do. Stick the disc in. Hang on, what's that there? It says F1. Oh, that one there. Hang on, what's that one? F3. DF2 selected. Let's do retest. There you go, it's working. Let me just read Tom's original letter. Hang on. I just want to see what he said about that drive. Maybe it's just the fact you can't get it up as DF1. The 2 disk drives included are yours, as they are PC drives that haven't been adapted correctly for the Amiga. The Amiga kit source drive has been messed up before I acquired it. It was in a pile of Amiga spare/repairs from a friend. The external drive does not give the disk change signal correctly, and probably never did. But now it does show up when connected to the Amiga. Ah, okay, so it's just the disk change signal then. So that might need modification. What's that there? Reading track 138? There's not that many tracks on the disc. What? Should we stop at track 80? Did that go up to 160? Did I imagine things? I think it did. I think it must have been reading one side of the disc at the, classing each track as each other side of the disc. You see what I'm trying to say? So instead of 80 tracks, it's read 160. Someone said maybe DF1 is reserved for the external port. That's why it's plugged in. It's plugged into the external port. Plugged into the external port. Seems like it could be a HD drive. No, because you still have 80 tracks. It's just the density, isn't it? You have, instead of having 8 sectors per track, you have is it 8? Not 8, 9. Instead of 9, you have 18, don't you? Is it with high density? I could be wrong. I'm forgetting exactly how it works. I think what it was doing there was reading one side or the other, which is why it went to track 160. Yeah, anyway, it would seem from Tom's original information the issue is the disk change signal. In theory, yeah, I was going to say, I'll switch it off. In theory, what I can do here is boot from the hard disk and just use the external drive. So I won't have an internal one, but the external drive should still work, I think. So let me just find and connect up the compact flash hard disk. And we'll just see what happens with the disk change signal, because we could swap the disk a few times and see if it recognises the change. Right, so that should be in a second booting from hard disk, hopefully. Yeah, it's booting. Okay, hang on. Right, let's see what happens here now. Yay, look, there's me A2091 install. So that's the disk that's currently in there. I was going to write over that actually, but anyway, that's that. So let me take that disk out in a sec, and let's just see if it recognises the change. So I'll just close that. In theory, the icon should change straight away. And look, it's gone, look. So it's recognised the disk going out. June 1, there you go, there's nothing wrong with it. Sweet! That means we've got an external floppy drive. There's nothing wrong with it. It could have been there was a bad connection on the back of the drive there where it plugs into the PCB. It could also be that the disk change wasn't working because of the CIA or something on the Amiga it was connected up to. So I've changed the disk over now, let's see what happens. I think, does it still keep that open? Yeah, because look, oh yeah, it's because I had it mounted, it's kind of like mounted, look, it's gone now. That one's there now, it says 829 in 2091 install. So it works, there's nothing wrong with that. Fantastic. Fantastic. So, let's try that other one. Because I've got my own external drive here as well, so let's just go and find it, hang on. Yeah, so this one of mine is a Commodore. Stick it on front there, yeah, so you can see it's a Commodore, it's a branded one. Now this hasn't been serviced a long while. Just looking at that on the back there, it's got a build, it's got a label on it there, look. Build date 4091, maybe 40th week of 1991. And it's obviously got a handwritten serial number on it. Yeah, so we'll try that. So I'll switch it off. I'm going to daisy chain this up to the other drive and show you this. Yes, you may have never seen it. It's pretty rare to see drives daisy chained up to each other, but it's got a connector on the back there, so you can just plug in another one, and then you've got 2 drives, and you can do this with up to 4 drives, so you can have 3 external drives on your system as well as your internal one. People used to do this though. My friend Albert, he had a 2000 and he had 3 of these Commodore drives sat on top of it, and he would use them for, you know, duplicating discs and things, because he was part of a community back then of it's really strange, but even back then these things were so popular, people had were part of big communities. They used to like share demos and games and things like that, so he would regularly socialise with other Amiga users even back then. So it's not like all of this camaraderie stuff has started in recent times. It hasn't. It's amazing now. These things used to bring people together back in the day. Anyway, let's see what happens with that now. It's booting up. What I'm not sure about is whether they're going to clash on their IDs. So we've got one. Let's stick with this to the other one. So June's in the second drive. Is that going to work? Yeah, that's doing something. Oh, there you go. It's worked. Yeah. So you can see we've got June mounted there in the Commodore drive, and then the 2091 down here is that drive that's not supposed to work properly, but it does. So yeah, that's sweet. That's sweet. It's going to make it a breeze copying discs and things now, isn't it? Let's just catch up with the chat. Not the piracy clubs I went to. X-copy on 8500, 3 externals all simultaneously copying. Yeah, you could call them piracy clubs. It was more than that though. It was like people used to, you know, my friend Albert, I used to go around to his house and he would show me all the latest games he'd got. A lot of it was stuff that had been downloaded from bulletin boards and stuff. So there was lots of copied stuff, but he would originals as well. He would say, "I've got a mate who's selling this pile of Amiga games here. Are you interested in any?" And I'd go, "Oh yeah, I'll have that one, that one, that one." And I'd give him 10 quid or 20 quid. And likewise, I would, if he would ask me, you know, "Are you selling anything at the moment?" I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm selling this for the, you know, Sound Blaster here for the PC. I've got I don't know, a hand scanner for the Amiga." And he would, you know, take them to his mates and speak to them, and they'd be like, someone would offer me something for it, or he'd ring them all up. So it was like this little club we had of like-minded people who had Amigas and PCs and things back then. We just used to, you know, swap software, swap games, and systems and things from time to time as well. I think I sold my ST to him, to one of his friends. I think the same thing happened with my SNES actually. One of his friends wanted a SNES, and I was like, "Well, I'll get rid of my SNES and That's how my SNES went. Wish I kept it. I had loads of good games with that SNES. So I'll move the camera back down here. Yeah, I'm not really sure where to go from here now. We could clean up these drives, I guess. Again, it's not particularly interesting. I'm starting to get run out of content again for this stream, I think. I might need to go away and have a break and a rethink and think what I'm going to do next. XYZ Concepts. I still have Xcopy. Yeah, I do. It's the #1 go-to piece of software, really, isn't it, to copy discs? Andrew Clegg, it was more than a piracy. Demo coders. Yeah, that's right. You know, some of my friends in that circle of friends there, one or two of them were, I won't say hackers, but they were in the demo scene. You know, they knew how to hack. You know, there's one guy I went around to, well, the way I met him, I went around to with a friend to his house at lunch one day. And he said, oh, you've got to meet this guy. And I went in, he had loads of stuff set up, PCs and Amigas and everything. And he was an expert hacker. He knew how to hack anything. He was probably one of the people, you know, you see these discs floating around there, you know, copy protection removed games on the Amiga. He was one of the people in the scene that were doing that sort of stuff, actually removing the protection stuff. He was really clever. There was another guy in that same circle that was actually a developer as well. I'm not sure what games he worked on, but he was pretty hot at the C64 assembly. And at the time, I didn't have a clue about anything like that. It was way above my level of intelligence back then. Anyway, let's just switch that off. So it would seem that both of these drives work, despite the fact this one I'm surprised at, because this has been in storage for, I don't know, several years inside the loft. In terms of serviceability, I mean, getting into this, it looks like it's quite challenging. I mean, it looks like someone's been in there before. It looks like you've got to prise it, because there are no screws or anything on it. So that's going to be an interesting one. Might just do that in a video on its own, just like servicing it or something. It'll be a pretty short thing. May as well get the screws back into this one now, though. I think we'll clean this one up while it's out like that. We'll just whiz over there and clean the heads on it. But I am really, really pleased to have that. So, what was the other drive? Where's the other one gone? Because that other one... did that work? I'm losing track of now of what I've tested. There was an external one, wasn't there? Not an external, an internal one, this one. Because that seemed to boot as well, didn't it? Or did it? I'm losing track. I am absolutely losing track. Will that one fit there? Yeah, it will. Let's unplug that. Or is this the one that didn't work? I can't remember. Yeah, let's just plug that in there. Plug that back in there again. And see what happens with that. Yeah, LEDs on all the time, look. That's not normal. It's booting from the hard disk, I think. Or is it? No, it's not. It's looking at the floppy drive. Now it's booting from the hard disk. So, I don't know. Don't know about that one. I mean, it says DF0 there, doesn't it? That could be a problem as well. If it's set up as DF0, that's not gonna work. Oh, come off. Anyway, we'll do what I said. We'll take that over there. We'll clean it up. We'll just have a final catch up, and then I'll perhaps get off. Because otherwise I'll be here all day or all week doing this. Now, the old command drive. I think I gave mine away. Yeah, like I say, I used to have, and I cut myself off. Albert had three of those Commodore drives, and they look really nice stacked on top of each other there. So let's just see if we can quickly get into this. It's going to be a 2-minute job, this. No screws holding it on, is there? That's it. Easy as that. a little bit of IPA. XYZ Concepts, I'm off early. No worries, thank you for popping in, it's good to see you. As I said, we're going to be getting off soon anyway now I think. It's getting to that time where people are going to be wanting to go and get the tea. I want to get my tea. So I'll just clean the heads here. It's only going to be a 2-minute job. Sometimes I would, obviously lubricate these things up and stuff, but you know what? I'm not going to bother. It's good, this drive. And then giving it a quick clean here. And it looks like it's hardly had any use inside. That looks brand new. That looks absolutely brand new. It's like a brand new, never used drive, if you ask me. Perhaps if you get it in the right way, doesn't it? That's it. Really, I should test it before reassembling it, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I'll test it after I've assembled it. So it's strange to see the use of a gallon there, isn't it? For that, presumably the drive selection logic. Makes it nice and compact though, because you don't need multiple 7.4 series chips on there. Those caps are going all over the blooming place. Oh, hang on a minute. This is just one of those chicken drives. You've got to get this on at the same point as tighten those up and try and hold everything in position. And obviously this cable just sort of pulls like that through there. So which way should this go now? Does it go? Let's go that way. Like that, I think. Does that go under there or over there? Oh, one of these, isn't it? A bit of a nightmare. From the back, I think, onwards. Yeah, so you can see the screws do two things: they hold the drive in and they hold the lid on as well. It's a really cheap design compared to that Commodore, but it's well made. I'm not knocking it. Needs a bit of a clean. Oh, thanks for that donation there, Big Trees. Good to see you. Canadian dollar, I think. Hey Berts, nice to see you here. Electron Ash, Retro Mark is here again, hi. The other thing we've got as well, I keep forgetting about, is that zip drive. I might do something with that in a future stream. Get the Archimedes working with it initially, and then, I don't know, I might try and get it working with the Amiga as well. I'm sure they will work with an Amiga. I just need to go find the software for it, for the Amiga end. Yeah, there we go. Give that a bit of a wipe, I guess. Oh, Smooth MJ, nice to see you as well. Getting there, tea. Spoken like a true northerner. Yeah, get me tea. What do you call it? Evening meal or something, or dinner? Call it dinner. I have my dinner at lunchtime. That's my dinner. I have my tea in the evening. So typically I'll eat at 6 or 7 usually, actually. But I mean, I've not had any lunch or anything today. It's one of those days where I just seem to have gone through the day without eating anything other than a biscuit, perhaps, which is not good for you. Yeah, it's come out pretty clean, that. Barely a mark on it. A bit of a scratch there. A couple of scratches on the underside. Still, that is a really nice drive. Pleased to have that in my collection. I mean, if I can get a case sorted out for my A4000 board there, I can use that nicely with that. I mean, I've got one or two of these boards anyway, with a flat front here, that would go into some sort of case for an Amiga 4000 up there. Right, I think I'm going to get off, guys. Smooth and Jake. Nah, Chris, it's always tea, not down with the lunch versus dinner debate. Retrotech Yeti. Dinner at lunchtime, lol. Supper though. Yeah, I have supper. Yeah, it might be a bit later though. Chippy supper on Friday because it's the law. That's true. Got to be pretty posh to have supper. Yeah, I don't really call it supper. Well, we sometimes call it supper. Cats have supper. Right, it's good to see you guys. Just put you back in there for a minute. Yeah, it's good to see you guys. Hopefully, I'll do a stream over the next few days. I'll see if I can think of something else to stream. It's difficult because it's all bitty stuff, isn't it? You know, no one's really excited about watching me remove caps for a few hours like I've just done and clean up floppy drives. But it is what it is. That's all I've got to focus on at the moment. Things might change when I get rid of some of the systems I've got here. I've got quite a few people lined up saying that I've got something you can look at, including Stephen actually. Stephen said he had about 10 systems I could look at if I wanted to. I just don't have the space. Anyway, thanks a lot guys. Take care and I'll catch you in the next one.